In this episode, how going heavy with your weights gets you light. Skitty mitty.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Welcome everyone to episode 228 of the Daily Mother. Back it up for the Swole. Welcome to episode 228 of the Daily Mother Swole. Today's episode live on Facebook, watching on YouTube, listening on SoundCloud, and the iTunes. Today's episode is Going Heavy Gets You Light. Going Heavy Gets You Light. Now, this episode is something that we talk about a lot. It's something we talk about a lot. It's something that is very important to me. It's something that's very important to you, even though you might be new and you might not know it yet. When we talk about lifting weights, doing anything, nutrition, we talk about, dumbbells, we talk about barbells, we talk about going to the gym, we talk about working out at home, we talk about weight gain, we talk about weight loss. We're talking about seeing progress, talking about seeing change, and we're talking about throwing out the old adage of the way things used to be done, the way the diets that people used to do, the way people used to train, even some of the things like the fads, the things that people are doing now, the things that are just really not true. We're trying to lift the veil, and I'm very straightforward with you. I'm very direct. Ooh, I like that. I have to interrupt this. Ronald Moore, Legs Benedict. I like that one. That's almost as good as Abraham Lincoln or Marco Swole. I like Legs Benedict. That's a really good one. So while you're in here, before I continue, because that just caught me off guard because it's really, really awesome. So props to that one. Make sure that you share this broadcast. Make sure you spread it around right now. So click the share button, and that way everyone else can come in and get their alerts and get in here right before we get into the meat and potatoes, so to speak, because it's going to be juicy. It's going to be high protein, and everyone here is going to love it. So going heavy gets you light. This is what everyone needs to hear, because most of you, and tell me if I'm wrong, most of you want to build muscle and lose fat. I don't think anyone here wants to get bigger and get rounder. I don't think anyone here wants to get lean and get skinny and have no muscle tone. I think everyone here wants to build muscle, and everyone here wants to build muscle in addition to burning fat as well. And that's really the holy grail, isn't it? That's really the holy grail. The holy grail is to see all the progress, all the results, get everything all at once, and that's ideal. That's ideal. That's great. But we don't live in a fantasy world. I talk about Willy Wonka and his gaining factory. We don't live in that fantasy land where Oompa Loompas just throwing around protein bars. We don't live in that world. We don't live in that world. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Maybe we can create it together. But most likely we can't. So we have to do one or the other. You have to either go in a caloric deficit and start training to lose weight and to lose overall size, or we have to go into a caloric surplus where we can gain muscle and gain more size because we have extra resources available in the body. Make sense? Cool. So going heavy gets you light talks about resistance training. It talks about women. It talks about men. It talks about children. Anyone that wants to get bigger needs to lift weights, right? But also, if you want to lose weight and you want to get smaller and get more slender, like I said, chances are you want to build muscle and shred up and get more lean and get more aesthetic and get more shape. You want to lift weights as well. So this goes for men. And really, especially, this goes for ladies, too. Ladies, you have to lift weights. Men have to lift weights, but ladies, you're still human beings just like guys are. You have to lift weights. Increase your weights. Too much of the 15, 20, 25, 30 repetition crap. Too much of the circuits with 5-pound dumbbells. Too many group exercise classes with 5 or 8-pound dumbbells. You have to lift heavy. And to be honest, you have to lift like a bodybuilder. And it sounds like, and there's a what should I say? There's a discrepancy. There's a disconnect between what bodybuilding is and what people think bodybuilding is. Because bodybuilding, people look at, wow, if you're a bodybuilder, you're huge and you're on stage and you're ripped and you're shredded, you're taking steroids. Well, bodybuilding is just developing the muscles evenly and proportionally throughout the entire body. So don't you want to have that even if you're 120 pounds or 115 pounds and you're a female, 150 pounds if you're a female, 200 pounds or 150 pounds if you're a male? Doesn't everyone want even balance? Doesn't everyone want to have muscles that are proportionate? No one wants to have like massive legs and no upper body, or massive upper body and no legs, or huge arms and like no back or no thigh. No one wants to have any lacking body parts. Everyone wants to have balance. You want to have proportion, you want to have even. So technically, if you train and you're looking for aesthetics and you're looking for balancing out the body, you are a bodybuilder. You're building your body. Don't think of it as, oh, I'm trying to get massive, I'm trying to get absolutely huge, and I'm juicing, I'll do whatever it takes to get as big as possible. That is a style of bodybuilding, but you don't have to be the biggest in the world type bodybuilder. You can be just someone that wants to improve their physique, that someone wants to train hard and wants to develop muscles all over. You don't have to be massive. You could be proportionate. So lifting weights increases your metabolism. So first off, if you want to lose weight, and I'm going to come at this a little bit more from wanting to look thinner, because going heavy gets you light. We all know that going heavier and eating more gets you bigger. Yeah, that makes sense. But going heavy also gets you lighter and leaner and more slender and more shape. So because increasing weights builds more muscle mass, hypertrophy, and then increases metabolism. So metabolism is the rate in which your body digests and utilizes nutrients. If your metabolism goes up, you're utilizing more nutrients. And if you're in a caloric deficit, your body will most likely will take fat from your body. And what if you want to gain weight and muscle from Jessica? Then you got to eat more. You got to lift weights and eat more. Caloric excess. So we talked about deficit, losing weight, and excess, gaining weight. That's the simplicity of it. If you want to gain weight, you got to pound the food. If you want to lose weight, you got to cut back on the food. You got to be a lot more strict. So increasing muscle is going to look a lot different than fat. For someone that's 150 pounds and is 10% body fat, and someone who's 150 pounds that is 25% body fat, they are going to look, one's going to look overweight and round and big, and the other person's going to look more slender and athletic, because muscle weighs more than fat. Muscle weighs more than fat. Muscle is more dense. So for the poundage, there's going to be less space in the environment being taken up by muscle. That's why someone that's leaner is going to be heavier on the scale. That's why if you step on a scale all the time and you're lifting weights and you're changing your whole habits, it's going to be different just by stepping on a scale than if you did body composition, body fat percentages. And yeah, diet is a huge part, Don, on Facebook. It's a huge part, but when you're getting into exercise, fitness is more important than diet. And we talked about this the other day, that if you're starting to get your life back together, if you're starting your journey, you need to focus on the exercise more than the food to start. Because if you get your diet, if you get your fitness down, you will adhere more and you be more intrinsically motivated to change your diet moving forward. Too many people start with diet, and that's why you fail. You need to start with lifting and training well and properly, and the diet will come. Remember, this is not for the short term, this is for your entire life. So you have to get started so you can adhere to it. You have to be able to stick to something, okay? Don't forget to keep on sharing this broadcast, because I'm going to get into some real juicy coming up right now. So if you haven't clicked the share button, if you haven't clicked live notifications, do that so you don't miss me live every day at 12. But make sure you pass this around. It's going to get a little bit heavy right now. This is really important. Less volume, you're going to look skinnier. This is a huge issue with anyone, especially females. And it doesn't mean all females, I'm making a generality, but many, and I would easily say most women care about the number on the scale. And a lot of guys do too. People that are trying to lose weight care a lot about the number on the scale. When you start lifting weights and building muscle, the number on the scale becomes a lot less important, which is the reason why BMI, the body mass index, is really a load of shit. Because according to the BMI, which calculates a number based on your height and your weight, I am severely obese. I'm severely obese. You guys have seen me. You see my workout videos. I'm very muscular and athletic. I am not obese. But by this number, because of my muscle mass and my height, I am considered obese by these numbers, just by height and weight alone. Obviously, I look different than someone who's never worked out in their life. Because muscle weighs more than fat, I have more dense tissue, I'm heavier, but that does not mean I'm severely obese and unhealthy and that I'm going to be at risk for diseases. Big difference. So your weight may be the same or more, but you're going to have aesthetics, you're going to have shape, you're going to have muscle mass. So you have to start looking at body fat percentage, start looking in the mirror, start looking at how the clothes fit, and start looking at what you're actually losing, what you're actually gaining. Because if you're maintaining the weight, but your body is shifting and changing, a lot of times that happens. You'll build muscle and lose fat, and your body will kind of maintain the same amount of size, like on the scale, the mass. But that doesn't mean that you're not gaining muscle and losing some fat, especially when you start training, which is important to recognize because otherwise you're going to get discouraged. I'm not losing weight fast enough, and then stop. And if you just do cardio, you just change your eating, you lose some weight at first, you might lose some weight, but you're going to be soft, and it's very easy for that weight to rebound because you're not increasing your metabolism, you're not changing how your body processes nutrients. You need more muscle mass. You need more muscle mass to keep your metabolism up, to keep your body eating stored energy on the body. Now, you don't want to be skinny and frail. No one does. Guys, you don't want to be skinny and frail. Women, you do not want to be skinny and frail. You don't want to be a stick figure, little model, because these people are at risk for osteoporosis. They don't have any shape. They don't have any muscle really tone. So when they're older, they're gonna have a lot of issues walking and maintaining posture and being mobile because of their lack of bone density and muscle mass and their joint strength and their tendon strength and their ligament strength. Okay, bone density, joint health. If you have stronger bones and you stimulate your bones with overload training, you're gonna have a better place to and more ability to store nutrients and minerals. Also, your posture will improve. All those intrinsic core stabilizer muscles and all those muscles in your spine. The glutes, you're not going to be walking on your hands. You need your legs to function. You need your legs to move. So if you have stronger legs, you'll be able to walk. You're not going to end up in a wheelchair as likely. I mean, you got to stay mobile. Think about this. You're young now, but it's going to go. It's going to go. And are you going to be in a wheelchair when you're 60 or 65? I see people that are overweight in their 30s in wheelchairs at Walmart. It's disgusting because most of the time it's preventable. There are extenuating circumstances when you might have a medical condition that limits certain things or causes certain things, and that's sad, that's genetic, and that's the luck of the draw, and it sucks. But most people bring this upon themselves. You can call it addiction, you can call it whatever you want, but you're visually seeing this happen, and you're not doing a fucking thing about it. So you got to change it now because this is what waits for you in your future. You don't have to be 350 pounds to be in a wheelchair. You have to be weak enough to not be able to walk, and that's sad because it's so easily preventable. You got to move now. You got to do something. Just to fucking do it. Stop complaining and stop putting it off. Watch my video. This is your year. This is your year. Just do it now. Just do it. Just do it. Watch my show. Be motivated and just do it. Do it every day. Follow my instructions. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. And then you won't have the problem. You have to just freaking do it. Like eating your vegetables. Oh, I have to go to work. Okay, so if you hate your job, then fucking hate the gym too. But at least you'll be healthy. Go. Just go. You have to do things you don't like in life, and if you don't like the gym, create something. I talk about lifting weights more important. Just take a class, do something moving, get yourself into it. Find something that you like. Then, if you really, really can't just do things the way it should be done based on enjoyment, you have to just do something physically active. Start with yoga, start with the Group X class, start with a personal trainer, showing you around the gym, start with a friend. Just start doing stuff and watch the shows, listen to what I'm talking about, ask questions, sign up for premium, you can get some more private advice and more detailed direction and application of all this information. But you got to start somewhere. You need people around you. You need a community like the Swolenormous Nation that is going to support your new journey. And a lot of people here are just starting, so we're all together in this. Posture, functional movement, activities for daily life. Activities for daily life. You have to be able to perform your activities, carrying groceries, getting up out of bed, walking up the stairs, just the basic shit. Lifting weights is extremely important. Nutrition is very important. I see a question here. If you're overweight, should you worry about protein intake? I mean, you should always worry about intake. You don't need 300 grams of protein a day. You need sufficient protein for growth. You might need 0.8 grams per kilogram. There's a lot of different recommendations out there. You need sufficient caloric intake overall. So you're going to need 1,500, 1,800, 2,000 calories. If you're sedentary, you're probably eating a lot more than you think you are relative to how much you're burning. You might be burning 1,500 calories at rest and you're eating 2,000. And the problem with this country is that most of the things on the back, if you read anything on the back, it's based off a 2,000 calorie a day diet which a lot of times can be extra. And if you're eating fast food and drinking a lot of your calories through soda or milk or all those other, fruit juice, which is crap, you're sucking down hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of calories that are giving you no nutritional value, just sugar, spiking insulin, more prone to storing body fat, and you're just getting excess calories and you're not exercising. So over the course of days, weeks, months, and years, you pack on 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds, and before you know it, you're that guy or that girl that's like, oh, I used to play field hockey, I used to play soccer, I used to be active in college, and now I'm like all this, and you pretend like it's yesterday because it seems like a recent memory because life flies. And then you realize, wow, it was 20 years ago. I've been on my ass for 20 years in a cubicle, sitting on my butt, sitting in the car, taking care of the kids, doing X, Y, and Z. All well and good, I guess, but you're not taking care of your health. And all of a sudden you're going to wake up with a medical bill, prescription drugs, and you're going to be fucked. So it's going to be too late. There's a point where it becomes irreversible. So the question is now, do you have the balls or the vag or whatever you want to call it to actually make a difference and to start doing something that's going to help, rectify that? It's not too late, chances are. I mean, I should say it's never too late. It really is never too late to make a difference. Are you going to be Mr. Olympia or professional bodybuilder and win shows? I don't know. Maybe some people do that. Some people do that. Some people do that. Some people they're like, the moms, they have fitness competitions and they look great and everyone's genetically different. Everyone's motivation is different. You don't have to be on the cover of a magazine. You don't have to be shredded in 3% body fat, but you need to take an interest in your health because otherwise, I don't care if you look overweight. Do you care if you look overweight? Maybe not, but do you care if you walk? Do you care if you have heart disease? Do you care if you have diabetes? Probably you would care about those things. So if not for your physical appearance, at least for your health. And if you even don't care about your health, well, maybe your kids care about your health. Maybe your spouse cares about your health. Maybe people depend on you that need you healthy. I mean, there's reasons to live in this world and everyone has their own and their own motivation, but you got to do it. You have to do it. You have to find your why you want to do it, whether it's for your kids, whether it's for yourself, whether it's for everything, whether it's for, ego. Just do it because if you want to live longer and if you want to be walking next to Papa Swole when you're 85, doing one-armed fucking chin-ups like a boss, then you got to do it now. And if you don't, that's fine too. I'll wave to you over there on the treadmill and we'll be in the gym together being active. Everyone's going to have their own path. Everyone's going to have their own journey. Everyone's going to have their own end result. You have to be conscious and cognizant of that end result, what's logical for you, what you actually do want, what makes you happy, and then do it. Thank you for joining me for episode 228 of the Daily Mother Swole. If you haven't checked out This Is Your Year on my Facebook page, that spotlight video I posted, was it yesterday, day before, what's today, Monday, Tuesday, 2 days ago. It's on my Facebook page. Check it out, share it, do whatever you want with it, but make sure you watch it. Give it a like if you like it. If you don't like it, give it a like anyway. What the hell? It's not going to hurt you. No one's going to see it. And share it. If you really enjoyed it, share it so other people can enjoy that and you can share this broadcast. Check me out on IG, on Snap, Flexing It Up, episode 228 tomorrow, episode 229, 12 noon Eastern Time. Forward is a hump day. Peace out. I'll see everyone tomorrow and around the interwebs. Later.